Welcome back to the Alternative Highs podcast. Today's podcast is really special. I got the opportunity to meet this young lad through our mutual doctor. This young man was selected in 2018 to Team Canada, played in the 22 Beijing Paralympics. Recently just was in the World Cup back in May.
World Championships, yeah.
And you guys won.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you are you're the assistant to the Team Canada how do we pronounce it properly?
They call it Team Canada Pair Ice Hockey now. It's formerly known as sledge hockey.
Okay, that's cool. I was actually looking through the notes on that, and I was like, I don't see sledge.
They kind of they went through a name changing thing just to be, I think, more inclusive, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
Changed the name.
So first off, how did you get to the Paralympics? What something put you on the Paralympics?
For sure.
What was that?
I grew up like a really, really active kid, and I played hockey like all growing up. I started playing when I was like 6 years old, and like a lot of Canadian kids, I dreamed of being in the NHL or playing for Team Canada. Like watching Sidney Crosby in 2010 score the golden goal. Like just had a dream of doing that, and then I played stand-up hockey, every sport that I could. But when I was 11, I started to get this like kind of pain swelling in my right knee. And I went to the first doctor or the hospital, went to the Emerge, and they told me that it was probably growing pains and that you'd ice it and things would get better. And so I went home and tried that, and it did not get better. It continued to get worse. And it eventually got to a point where I wasn't able to play hockey with my friends. Like I was sitting on the sidelines watching. And my parents took me to a different hospital just for a different opinion, I guess. And they did an X-ray on it, and then right away they did a biopsy on my knee and determined that I had osteosarcoma. So it's a form of bone cancer. I think it's the same one that Terry Fox actually had.
Okay.
Similar one anyway.
Yep.
And so right there, like the doctors asked me and my parents if we had any questions, and I didn't really understand what cancer was when I was 11 years old. So I didn't really the only thing I knew about was like this Harry Fox run you do at school and stuff like that, but I didn't know what cancer was. So the only question I had was would I be able to play hockey again? Because that's all I cared about, and I wasn't able to do that at the time. So
what an amazing mindset! Like I got chills you saying that, but like at 11 years old, you're getting told some pretty heavy news. You're literally. Can I play hockey again?
Yeah,
I love that.
That's all I cared about.
Yeah, man. And like mom and dad, obviously,
they're
taking it hard. Like
yeah.
I'm a parent. I can't imagine, but like the fact that it probably helped them knowing how cool their son was about everything. Because like how long? So from the time you found out to the time of amputation, what was that like?
So I guess pretty much as soon as I found out they found the cancer, I started chemo treatments right away. So that would have been in probably, I think it was like November or December, November of 2011.
Okay.
And then by February is when they told me like that I had to have the amputation, and that's when I had
that
the
quickly.
So it was pretty quick. Like they knew that in order to save my life, they'd have to do that.
Yeah.
So
this was life or death, like
pretty much.
Because of spread, or
it didn't spread. It did spread later on, but at the time it was just a knee that they knew about and everything. So it was by like February when they did the amputation, and I was in Sick Kids Hospital for a couple of weeks, so kind of going through that, rehabbing a bit, and then I went back to London Children's Hospital there to continue my treatments.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just about like completely done, and then they did like a scan on my kind of just like a routine scan to make sure it hasn't spread, and they found a spot that came back just like on the side of my lung.
Okay.
So I pretty much had to kind of restart the chemo treatments again just to combat that.
At that age, what was
did
that one hit you?
Yeah, that one, because like you went through a lot already.
Yeah,
you think I thought I was pretty much done. I thought I was almost on the other side of it, and then it came back again. So I got to restart again.
I feel so like this is. It's so wild how you can talk. Like you've told your story so many times, and you're so fluent, and you're so well spoken. And I'm just trying to imagine, like this weekend I got put back into wound care and I was being a whiny baby about it. And here you are talking about going back into treatment for something so heavy as cancer. Man, I just had the biggest moment. You just broke my brain because I was like, Dustin, it's time to like quit worrying about the itty bitties and just work through it.
That's all mindset, really.
That is
at that young age, I didn't know what mindset was or anything, but just tried to.
You just had it.
I think my parents were really helpful. Like they were always really positive. Didn't really show me any weakness or anything, so that helped out a lot.
Parenting is so like some people just. I don't want to go down that road of the parenting because it's just such a difficult thing. But man, so what you guys are from?
From Wallstown.
So Wallstown. So that's for anybody that doesn't know. That's about a town of 300.
Yeah, not a very big town.
It's just on Lake Erie. What's mom and dad do?
My dad works in like a construction company. He owns one, and then my mom's an EA.
Okay, so I watched your Quick Six. And what you wanted to be when you grew up was a farmer. I was assuming that for sure you came from a farmer background.
No, I grew like all my neighbors and everybody around us were farmers, but we weren't farmers. We have property that we like rented out and stuff.
Okay,
farmers, but we never farmed ourselves.
That's
always what I kind of wanted. Other than hockey, that's what I wanted to do.
That's amazing. I love that. I there was literally, it's been on my mind. I was like, I wonder what kind of farming. But okay, so by the time treatment's all done, you're 12, 13?
Yeah, so after that was all done, I was about, I guess, 13, like 12, between 12 and 13, yeah.
So you're 12, 13, and did you get the prosthetic right away?
Yeah, I started out pretty much right away, yeah.
What was that like, learning how to?
So I'll explain my surgery. Like, they gave me 3 options for my surgery. They could do a full leg, like right at the top, amputation, and they could do like a procedure where they kind of take my bones out and all the joints and everything, replace it with like metal stuff. But that was like severe risks of infection and down the line, like more complications. So I ruled that one out right away. And the third option was called a rotation plasty surgery.
Okay.
So they took from below my knee to about like the top of my thigh. They took that completely out where the cancer was.
Yep.
They took the lower part of my leg, like the shin, ankle, and everything like that, rotate it 180 degrees, and reattach it to the top of my leg. So your foot is then backwards, and it acts as a knee.
Okay.
And it gives you like a kind of a natural knee joint. And,
wow.
So
I didn't even know that
I was pretty crazy, but they told me that I would have I'd be able to be the most active with it.
Yeah.
And they said there weren't too many complications. They'd done it a long time, and they so I chose that one, and I don't regret it. It was a good option for me anyway.
It just, you move so smoothly, like you would never be able to. I didn't know. So did you go right into sport right away?
Yeah. So I met my parents met a guy in the hospital. He had kind of a similar story to me. He played hockey growing up, higher level hockey, but he played hockey growing up, and then he had cancer, had an amputation, and then he found was sledge hockey. He found sledge hockey.
Yep.
And he was just back in the hospital for like a routine checkup, and kind of ran into my parents somehow, and found out my story, and that I loved hockey, and eventually got me back out on the ice for my first time in sledge hockey, and he kind of introduced me to it.
That's so amazing.
And then that was kind of when I was going through treatment. So I would go for my treatments every Wednesday to London. There's a team in London, so I would go straight from my treatments every Wednesday to the.
So you're doing treatment for cancer, and then right to the arena.
Yeah, like I wasn't playing at a high level. I was just out on the ice fooling around, but it was something that, I don't know, like really took my mind off things for that period of time.
I don't know about high level so much as like that is some serious upper body strength you need to have to move. And like I was watching some videos of you, and like I was like, man, I'm in the gym a lot. I consider I'm extremely fit. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could do it. Like I don't. I would gas out.
When you first start, it's pretty tough. Like you start out with your blades pretty wide for like balance, so you don't tip over all the time. And then you just kind of gain your skill from there. And eventually you move your blades closer when you can balance better, and yeah.
So amazing. Like how I can't even imagine how much you're clipping out there. Like this is such a. Is it both?
Yeah, so you have two sticks. There's picks on the end of them that
Yep.
you use to skate with, and then obviously the blades on the other ends that you pass and shoot with. So you really have to be able to use both your hands to play the sport. Like you got to be able to be like
Ambidextrous.
ambidextrous, like
Yeah.
shoot pass with your left, shoot pass with your right,
It's amazing.
and skate with the puck while you're skating.
It's such a, you have to have such great hand-eye coordination to, like, I kind of want to try it now.
Yeah, you should.
I was watching your videos. I really would like to try it. So, how did it become that Team Canada found you?
Well, I was playing with London, and then eventually tried out for I knew a couple guys that were on the Team Ontario team, so I tried out for that team and I made it. I played about a year with them, and then I think just through being on that team, like the Team Canada head coaches and people came out to watch those games and kind of recognized talents, and they recognized me.
Yep.
And so I got to play with I tried out and played with the national development team for like a half a year. Like it was a one or two tournaments or camps.
Yep.
And then the following year, I was 15 at the time, like just before my 16th birthday. I went to my first national team tryouts, like the men's national team, and I really did not expect to kind of make the team at that age because I was just like really young. I was a lot smaller than everybody else out there. Like there's guys that were like in their 30s on the team.
No kidding.
But they selected me for the team. And just mostly for development, I think, to keep me around, bring me to all their camps and kind of.
I mean, now you're like you're one of the big dogs on the team. Like you're an assistant, so like they developed you and had you ready to take care of the.
They kind of build me up to where I am now, and so that really helped me out.
What was it like being that age, playing with these men?
It was like at first it was like really intimidating, but like a lot of the guys on the team were like just so welcoming. Like
I was gonna say that.
Like there's a couple guys took me right under the wing, showed me what it was like to kind of be at that level. And
what was your first? Where was your first big like game?
So that would have been in Charlottetown, PEI. We had a tournament there.
Yeah.
Like there was like a 4-country tournament.
Okay.
And I think my first game was against Sweden.
Okay.
Sweden or Korea, one of those two teams.
Okay, I did see that on your Instagram. I was kind of browsing through studying. So I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit to 2022 to Beijing.
We can go. I played in 2018 as well, the Paralympics.
Tell me about that one real quick. So I didn't see that post.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. So I was 17 at the time.
Okay.
20. Yeah. And so I was selected to the 2018 games. I was in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
Okay.
And it was amazing. Like my first Paralympics, kind of pretty much living out the dream, just in like a different kind of form that I had when I was a kid. Like wearing
at that age of getting to travel to all these different countries is so neat. Like I can't. I
missed a lot of
haven't
school.
been anywhere. Yeah, like how did school work out during all that?
Like I was from a small town, small high school, small.
They're just rooting you along, saying
like they'd help me out so much. Like I'd come the time that I was around, they would, like if I had to like do some extra work, I'd come in on like my lunch break or something and do some extra work, get caught up. And,
that's so cool that they're to support you.
They really helped me out.
Yeah. So that Paralympics, how did you do during it?
Yeah.
Was it like your first one?
Yeah. So it was my first Paralympics. I played in most of the game. I think I was dressed in every game, but I only played in like the games that didn't mean the most. Like I didn't play in the gold medal game, but I was like on the bench. So it's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
And we ended up winning getting silver. We lost in kind of a heartbreaking loss in overtime. We were up the whole game by 1 goal, and then kind of 30 seconds left, they tied it up, and we lost in overtime. So it was pretty tough breaking loss, but it was a great experience. Like very proud to be able to have done that and bring home the silver. I was able to have all my family there to watch me and travel out there, and they had an amazing time. And
I can't even imagine what that would be like to have your family there for that.
It meant a lot for sure.
Yeah, man. Like Yeah, you guys are really close too.
Yeah,
There are a
yeah,
lot of, yeah, it's so cool. And then your 2022
yeah,
Beijing Olympics, like
yeah. That one
you
was,
you stepped up.
yeah. So I guess I had 4 years to kind of grow. Like I was 17 at the time, then I was 21. So
Yep,
I got a lot of time to grow and kind of not only as like a kind of a player, but also
as
like
a human.
as age and
Yeah,
everything that really helps out.
growth.
Um, it was a totally different experience just because it was kind of right during COVID. Like
Hmm.
so the games were like pretty strict. Like you had to like get COVID tested every day, wear a
Yep,
mask everywhere. So it's a lot different environment and everything. Like, but the hockey obviously is still the same. Like you're
yep.
still out there on the ice, still doing the same thing. So that part was amazing, and being able to wear that the Canadian flag is always
There's
something to
a
be proud of. But,
there's a thing on YouTube with you, and it's James Dunn will have a hard time ever forgetting this night. It was the day you got your hat trick.
yeah,
That day, like those goals were all amazing.
thank
I
you,
watched it
thank you.
over so many times. Like I love seeing that kind of stuff. What was that like? Being you doing that, like were
Yeah,
you just so like I can't believe I'm doing this in the Olympic, I
yeah.
can't believe this is happening, or was
Is
it like you're just I've worked really hard, this is just what happens when you work really hard?
I mean, I think it's. I mean, obviously it's a bit of both. I'm not. I don't like to be cocky or anything, but
No,
like
no,
if you put the work in, good things will come. Like
inevitable.
you gotta be good to be lucky, I guess. So
Yeah, like
like a little bit, but
it's
yeah, I guess over time, like I didn't expect myself to be at that level, but I put the work in and kind of got to it. And
what's training look like for you?
yeah,
What?
we're pretty busy. Like our season typically runs from September until roughly like April, May.
Okay.
So that's like our season, and then the
That's-
off season's the next couple months.
what's your
Um,
off season? What do you do?
we usually get like 1 month of just no training, just kind of reset after the year, and then you get right back into it. Where in the off season, it's still pretty much training as
Yeah,
your
yeah.
regular season. Like it's where we do typically like 3 strengths a week, a couple cardios
Okay.
on the ice a few times a week,
Amazing.
and just getting reps in on the ice is the biggest thing for sure.
What so the World Cup that you just where was that?
It was in Calgary, so it was we had World Championships the year
World Championship.
before in Moose Jaw, so it was also in Canada.
Okay.
And we came up short. We lost in the gold medal game, and eventually then this year was in Canada again. So like kind of a redemption shot at it. It was in Calgary, which is pretty much our team's home rink, like where all the Hockey Canada stuff is.
Is
and
it?
Yeah, so they have like their offices and
So
and
when
rink
you're in
training.
season, where are you living?
I live at home,
Okay.
but like I'm on the ice in Toronto every week, so I go down to Toronto for 2 days a week usually during
And then you
during
drive
the days I'm home. Yeah.
so much travel,
It's
eh?
a lot of it's a lot of travel, yeah, a lot of commitment, but I love
So
it.
what does how long of a career will you push this?
Yeah, so I guess I'm right now. My focus is like the next games, like, and then I think that's what a lot of a lot of Olympic or Paralympic athletes look for. Is like I'm looking forward to the next games and training for that, and then we'll see what comes after that kind of thing.
So what do you do in the meantime? Is there financial? Does it pay? Is it do you have to hold another career in the meantime?
I mean, it's best to have another job. Like it doesn't pay great.
There is money though.
There is money.
They take care of certain things.
Yeah, like
and it's not about the money. It's about the representation of.
You have to be able to have money to be able to do it as well.
100%
to pay for it. But yeah, like some guys do have jobs, but some mostly focus on the sport.
I know that when we spoke, when I first asked you to join Alternative Highs, back at that marina in Port Glasgow, you had just got done school.
Yeah.
So what did you took marketing?
I took like sports administration. So it's kind of like sports marketing, I guess.
Okay. What are you doing with that?
Right now I haven't done a lot with it at all yet. But I kind of shortly after that I got working with the RBC. It's called the RBC Olympian program.
I was watching your interview.
So I do I kind of partnered with them, and I do like like speaking events
Okay.
and different kind of events with them.
Yep.
And so that's kind of my other job right
Yeah,
now
that's
is
really
working
cool.
with them.
So where does RBC take you to with your
Um,
speaking events? Like what kind of like hospitals,
it's kind
arena?
of a wide variety of events. Like there's some like within RBC, like they're kind of corporate events, like they have, or kind of the teams that they have like within RBC. I do
Okay.
some speaking with them, but also they also do a lot of community work too.
Okay.
So whether that's like for example, they did like they sponsored like a run walk fundraiser in Hamilton,
Okay.
and I was out there just kind of meet and greet with them. Like
Okay.
it's kind of a wide variety of different things,
That's
but
amazing.
I enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah, like so what how did that become a thing for you? Like that is that Team Canada and then they just tagged on to you there or they approach you separately or
I so like they have it's for like any Paralympic or Olympic athletes,
okay.
and you can apply for it every 2 years, I guess.
Okay.
And they have like a limited amount of spots open per what region you're in,
Okay.
and yeah, yeah. So I applied for it, and I got hired on
It's
with
so
them.
cool because I have watched you like your your was it Tim Hortons interview?
Yeah,
Did
I did a
they
commercial.
do
A
you do
commercial,
something
yeah.
with Tim Hortons?
Commercial,
It's just so cool to have that kind of stuff at 23 years old to be as so talented and you're just so you're a very sweet human.
yeah.
You're
Thanks.
very polite. I'd like to talk how so we have a mutual Mr. or Dr. Jody Anderson. I
Joey,
don't think he would appreciate
the
me calling him
doctor.
doctor, but we'll say Jody. How did you come to meet Jody?
Yeah, so originally my grandpa owned the building that
Okay.
he ran the, I guess, chiropractor office out of,
Mm-hmm.
and that just kind of through my grandpa owning the building and him, and he had some other kind of sports connections, I guess, and
Yep.
so my grandpa kind of put me in contact with him, and I think I don't know, if it was like a golf tournament or something with him, and
Yep.
kind of met him through that, and
Yep.
yeah.
Did you ever get any of the pain management from
No,
Joe?
I actually haven't. I haven't
No,
went to him for anything yet, but
no.
I probably should at
Oh,
some point.
it is wildly amazing. So, what? When's the next Olympics?
2026.
So you got a year and a
That's
half.
yeah, a year and a half
So,
before that.
what's a year and a half for James Dunn gonna be?
Yeah,
The next, what is that? 18 months.
yeah. Just a lot of training, a lot of competitions. Like this year, we have a bunch of tournaments lined up. World Championships again at the end of the year.
Where,
Training between that.
where are you guys gonna travel this year for World Championships? What are these? Where do the tournaments go? And is it just countries? Is it
Yeah,
always Team Canada that you're with?
I'm always with Team Canada. Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
cool.
And then we play other countries in different. Like sometimes they host and we host. Like it depends who puts the bid in, I
Are
guess.
you
I
are
think
you traveling lots this year then?
I think cool quite a bit. I think World Championships is in the States somewhere, so it's not
Okay.
as far as going to like Europe or anything,
Okay.
which is all right. Our first tournament's in Czech Republic though, in the beginning of October, so
Oh,
that's
real
kind of our
soon.
first. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
what? So preparation to that.
yeah. So we have kind of selection. Yes, the team gets selected every year, so there's like a
Yeah.
tryout every year.
Yep.
So we have our tryouts the end of September, and then kind of directly after that we go into the tournament. Between that, like right now, we're training with
So
um,
because you've been on the team so long, do you get to be involved in, or are you still like
not really. Like
hard trying out yourself?
everybody's got to
Earn
earn
the
their
spot.
spot. Yeah, there's always somebody coming up for your spot, so you got to earn it for sure.
What are you? You still got that A on the jersey?
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cool, man. So obviously you're a leader. What? What do you have those? Are you the leader that's out there talking to the whole team, or are you the guy that's just leading by example?
I'm a pretty quiet guy. Like I don't really like. I probably should speak up and have more communication than I do. But I'm mostly just like a lead by example kind of guy. I put the
Which
work
is
in
important.
and have other people kind of follow suit. That's what my kind of philosophy is right now. Like obviously, like it takes like certain kind of person to be able to do that, like
Yeah.
like kind of talk the team up and
Yeah.
always be speaking out. And I'm almost too shy to be that guy. So,
Well,
but yeah.
the guys were in their 30s when you started.
Yeah.
Is there still older guys on the team that have been?
Yeah, there's a few guys that are still on the team from, well, a lot of guys that are still on the team from when I made it.
Yeah. So like,
not many that are. There's a bunch of retired as well, but yeah.
It's hard to have that conversation when you're the young buck too. Like you feel like maybe I shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, I'd say I'm kind of middle of the pack of age right now. Yeah. I guess.
So what's it like the coaching staff? Like what's that like with your coaching staff? Great relationship. Are the coaches changed up much over the last?
So we had the same kind of coaching staff for my first 8 years, I guess. And then, for the 2018 Paralympics and the 2022 Paralympics, we were the same coaching staff all throughout. And then after the 2022, we kind of switched it up.
Okay.
I have a new coach now, and kind of a similar. Some people on the staff are still the same, but new head coach. And we're doing a really great job. And
that's awesome. I had so many. I was wondering, like, what it's like for that coaching staff, like, is it all on ice with them? Are they coaching from the bench? How does that?
Yeah, they're on skates. And they're most sledge hockey coaches come from a stand up hockey background. When they've coached stand up hockey, they played it, and then they kind of like a lot of the systems and everything we run in sledge hockey are the exact same, like pretty much exactly the same as what you would run in stand up. Other than like we can't really skate backwards, so that's kind of one thing you have to adjust for. So you got to be really good at angling. To kind of, instead of, because you usually skate backwards and transition, cut somebody off, but sledge hockey, if you're caught going this way and somebody's going this way, you can't backwards. You got to like come up and do an angle to kind of bring them out. So it's a lot of, you got to be like calculate that like kind of in your head all the time what angle you need to take.
Is there like, does it? I need to watch a game. Does it get aggressive?
Oh yeah, quite. It's a lot of big. You got to keep your head up, just like
I was just wondering, like, because that collision, there's so much compacted in that,
and it's metal coming at you. Like they're moving metal.
Yeah, you're like that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Have you had a connection yet? Like where your head's down, you're like, oh shit, that's my wake up call.
Yeah, like I got you're not allowed to T-bone anybody, like hit them with the front of your sled.
Oh yeah, that would hurt.
Like this one, it was a bad hit, but the guy, I was like against the boards, and the guy came in on like an angle this way.
Yeah. And
hit my leg and snapped it, like broke my leg. So that was like the worst injury that I've had probably so far.
Oh my god,
it sucked.
Holy shit!
That was in 2021.
Yeah, how long of a recovery was that?
I was like, it was at the end of the year, so I had like all the summer, and I was back by September. It was probably like June to September, I guess.
Dude, you just keep bouncing back. Like you just, it doesn't. When you're by yourself, okay, and there's nobody around you, are you like, shit, this world's out to get me? Or are you like,
not really.
Let's go.
Everybody has their battles they go through.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, I don't know. Some people just have to deal with a little bit more than other people.
That's crazy. Yeah, like you're put there for a reason. Like I believe 100% everything's just there to help you build that future for you. Like you're put on this earth for something much more than what you're doing. Now it's just the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
And what you're gonna do in your next chapter of life would be so monumental from everything it is wild to me. You breaking your leg that way has got me heebie-jeebie.
I know. It took me kind of a little while after that to kind of get over that fear. Yeah. Like, I played a little scared for sure. Like,
what was that guy like afterwards?
Sorry?
What was that guy like that hit you afterwards?
He didn't, like, I don't know. He said he was sorry, but anyway.
Man, what a tough one. So you're just recently purchased back home here.
Yeah.
You're setting some roots.
Yeah. Excited.
When hockey's done, do you think you'll go into coaching? Do you think you'll stay a part of Team Canada?
I don't know I'll go into like coaching high level. I'd like to like stay and like kind of give back to the local team that I
Yep.
started with, and then kind of maybe help coach them or do some stuff with them.
It's amazing.
I don't know about at the highest level. Maybe I'd work my way up to that, but right, like after I'm done, probably
Dude, you're
just local.
23?
Local. 23.
23. You're so young. Like you have so much time to make the. I'm trying to figure out like, man, he's still got like a 10-year, 15-year career left in him that he can continue this road. Like, does that interest you to stay that long?
Right now I won't rule it out, but I don't know for sure like what it's gonna bring after this next Paralympic. That's kind of just like
It's
what
just
my mind's on right now, and then
yeah.
kind of reassess after that and see where I go from there.
Well, I really would love to have another interview with you when you've done all that to see what the next thing is.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, what a great interview. Thank you for coming and doing this for me. Man, I appreciate you so much, James. The future is bright for you. You have such a great mindset. Like I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Like it's just so special. And I really do hope I can get you on a couple of my projects that I'm working on.
Sure.
Because I think you're such you bring so much value. Like it's what we have to do, what I was just saying, what you have to go through and how important it is for sharing. Mm-hmm. You're already doing it. I'm just following in your steps now. You're such an amazing guy. I appreciate you so much. And next interview will be after the where's it at again?
Where's in Italy, or the Paralympics are in Italy now in 2026.
So after if I'm still doing the Alternative Highs podcast, we're doing an interview.
Sounds good.
Okay, my guy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.